So today I have a few fun things planned. Sorry if you could hear a little bit of like noise going on in the background. My cat drinks from the water bowl the weirdest way. Let me see if I can get him. Of course, I want to try to film it and he stops, but basically he puts his paw in and starts like splashing his water bowl around. And like I've tried everything to get him to stop doing that. I've tried weighted water bowls, I've tried little electric water fountains that you can plug in, and he's always found a way to destroy those things. So just a simple water bowl and let him splash around. It's kind of the best we can do. Got a few little things planned for today. So I want to go over to the library. I haven't gone to the library since I got my library card. That was literally to pop in and get my card and leave. So I want to walk around the library, see what it's like in there. I want to go over to the shops, grab a coffee, maybe grab a pastry or grab lunch over there. And I need wrapping paper for Christmas. Here is the lovely water splasher. And apparently he needs cuddles because he will not leave me alone. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of writing done. It just hit 9 o'clock, so see if I can get some more words in before we go out for the day. So to give you guys an update as to where the book is at. So that is the current word count for my chapter. Every time I change this to English United States, it just doesn't stay for some reason. Like it always goes back to the UK, so that kind of drives me nuts a little bit. I'm sure I could probably fix it with an easy Google search, but that's just not what I'm doing today. Yeah, so I basically had to rewrite this entire book. I still need to finish the outline on it, but I wanted to kind of get through chapters 1 and 2 because it's dual first person points of view, so it's her point of view and then his point of view. So I want to get those first 2 chapters out of the way while like I'm kind of excited to write them. It's a little bit fresh in my head. So chapter 1 will probably wrap up. I'm hoping in around 2-ish thousand words. If it's a little bit more than that, that's fine because my chapters are normally between like 2,000 and 2,500. And then I have to write his chapter, which is going to be really, really interesting because I have absolutely no experience with any of this. Chapter takes place with her friend saying that she's getting married in 2 weeks when she was single yesterday, and basically tells her about this health insurance scheme that she's doing, where she's marrying somebody just for their health insurance. He's in the military, so he has really good health insurance, but the military is very, very strict about making sure that people aren't getting married just for the health insurance benefits. So they need this to be airtight, and she asks her friend, who's actually a Hollywood screenwriter, to help her come up with a fake love story to fool the Navy, which I think is an interesting premise, and it's something that you can kind of play on throughout this book. So the friend agrees to it. She's not quite happy to be brought into the middle of a scandal. She's recovering from heartbreak after a very public breakup with her celebrity fiance. So she goes back home to Norfolk, and her and her friend are starting to reconnect. They're getting a little bit closer, and her friend is asking for this favor. Now on his side, the next chapter is going to be interesting because it opens up with him on a battleship getting ready for like pre-deployment stuff. He's going on a 6-month deployment in just 2 weeks. So basically he's marrying this girl who's always seen as a little sister, like his best friend's little sister. He's marrying her and then going on a 6-month deployment, so he's hoping that she'll be able to get her act together a little bit more in those 6 months and figure out her insurance issue, and he'll get extra money to pay off his dad's gambling debts. His dad passed away under some suspicious circumstances, but has quite a few gambling debts to quite a few different people. So he's trying to pay those off without his mom knowing, because his mom will panic, will probably remortgage the house, sell the car, basically do everything she can to pay these debtors off, because she's never been like very finance savvy, money savvy, and does not know this at all. Like she didn't know that her late husband had gambling issues. He was able to keep it very secret from her, and he does not want his mom to panic and find out. She already has really bad health. It's kind of the reason why he's doing this, is he could use the extra, I think it's BAH. I really need to double check this if I'm not positive that's BAH or BAS. I'm not good with military stuff, you guys. So this is going to be interesting to write. I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to get some minor things wrong, but I also don't have anybody who could be a beta reader once this is done. So I think I'm just going to sort of leave it as is. If I can find a beta reader who is in the US Navy at some point, that would be fantastic. I know there are people who could do it if you pay for their service, but I'm not paying $5,000 to have somebody read a romance novel to tell me whether or not a couple slang terms are right or wrong. Especially because a lot of his point of view isn't even going to be taking place at work. I just want to really drop the reader into the middle of his situation in this first chapter so they know what his job is, how intense it is, build up to the fact that he's about to go on deployment. Where the romance comes in is I did a twist on the brother's best friend trope, or the best friend's little sister trope, however you want to phrase it. Instead of it being the two of them who get together, who actually get married, he meets the screenwriter and starts to fall for the screenwriter. So now he and the screenwriter, who's the main female character, have to keep their budding relationship secret from the Navy, secret from his best friend, secret from her best friend / his new wife. It's a lot of like secrecy and some high stakes that are in this, but I need to actually fully flesh out the outline. I have the query letter done. I need to finish the synopsis, finish the outline, and I want to do all of that by the start of November so I can try NaNoWriMo. I've done NaNoWriMo before. I've never won it. I haven't done NaNoWriMo in a couple of years, but I think with this, because the project is so new, it's fresh, and I'm rewriting something I'm already familiar with, I already know these characters really well, I think it'll be, famous last words, I think it'll be easier this year. Now I know I'm finishing up at work, which is so nice. There's going to be that last minute like kick to get everything done, I'm sure, in the week leading up to the end, but right now things are starting to unwind a little bit. People are starting to relax because it's getting closer to the end of the year, and I know when I start my new job at the last week of November there's going to be a little bit of training, but I know overall what that job entails because I've done it before. So yeah, I've done so much talking, so much rambling, you guys, so let me get to work. Let's get writing and let's start this vlog. Okay, so first draft of chapter 1 is done. Didn't quite reach 2000, we're at 1951, but I don't want to just add for the sake of adding. This is a decent sized chapter, it's pretty well rounded. You know, like as I write later on, I might want to go back and tweak some things that were in this. For now, this is good, and I am ready to just save this and move on to chapter 2. And in case you guys were curious, the working title for this is Dear Captain Love Sunshine. The idea behind it was it's the nicknames that they kind of use for each other. Like the first time he sees her, she's in this bright yellow dress. Her favorite color is yellow. She's a little bit bubbly, a little bit perky, so he starts calling her Sunshine. It fits, it sticks. It was supposed to be a little bit sarcastic at first, but it ends up being this cute little thing between the two of them. And her nickname for him was Captain. So it was, again, just a joke on being an officer in the Navy, not knowing that he's actually trying to like reach that point before he retires. I think it's like 20-year retirement. I'd have to double check those numbers. I've wrote it in the book somewhere before, but I think at 20 years is when you can retire in the Navy with full pension, or any branch of the U.S. military. So that's her little nickname for him, and they have this 6-month period while he's on deployment where the two of them are writing secret love letters to each other. So that was the whole thing between the two of them. They never used names. It was just Dear Captain, Dear Sunshine. So they sign off Dear and Love. So Dear Captain Love Sunshine. It could be flipped the other way around, but I like it Dear Captain Love Sunshine instead of flipping it Dear Sunshine Love Captain. I just don't think that quite works. Again, it's a working title though, and publishers and agents are also known to change titles depending on what they think the market is going to be. So I'm hoping to send this out to agents to get this traditionally published, pitched to publishers. We'll see. Who knows? I mean, really, there's no way to predict whether or not your first book is ever going, well, not my first book, but this book is ever going to be traditionally published or go through a regular publisher. So who knows? The title might get completely changed. I might have another idea that comes up along the way. Who knows? Maybe somebody in the comments will come up with a better working title. But for now, this is what I have. This is what the story was previously called. I might want to change the title when I go to pitch it to agents again, just because it was a little bit of a unique title. They probably won't remember it anyway, because I wouldn't even be able to pitch it for months and months till after I've written it. But yeah, that's the working title for now. You just chilling out? Yeah, you just watching me, right? You having a nap? Well, you slept all night, now you need another nap. Look at this. 2 cat trees. Also, don't mind that. I know there's a good bit of cat fur on there, but I put catnip on there initially to try to get them to jump up. Now they absolutely love these. You can tell he's kind of enjoying this, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, you like the scratches, don't you? So this is what I've been staring at for about 5 minutes, trying to figure out how the hell do I start this? Like, I'm literally jumping into the middle of this guy on a battleship figuring things out, like pre-deployment, no idea what the hell I'm writing about. Oh, why is this so tough? Normally I could just jump in and start something, but I feel like I need to start this properly. So I've spent the last like 20, 25-ish minutes just looking up YouTube documentaries to try to figure out, okay, well, what do I want to say if they're in a battleship starting off this chapter? And I got nothing. So I think I'm going to change tactics with that. So I think now I'm just going to have him come home at the end of the day, like kicking off his combat boots, taking off his uniform, kind of like establishing what his job is. And of course now my cat wants more attention. So I think I'll probably just do something along those veins, starting it off and he gets a phone call from the debtors to sort of establish why he needs the money and what's going on with that. And I have a plan for chapter 3, which is going to be like their meet cute without realizing that they've met each other. And chapter 2 with him getting ready to go meet a few of the other officers at a bar. And Sydney, in the beginning of chapter 3, is going to be at that bar. So, yeah, I think that's probably where this is going to go. I think I just need to get rid of the destroyer thing because I'm racking my brain, beating myself up, trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to incorporate that. And it's just not necessary. Like, it would be a little bit more interesting. And if I could think of something later on, I might change that instead of his house. No, because I still need him to be in his uniform when he goes over to the bar. Yeah, that's not quite gonna work. I just need to figure out this destroyer thing, you guys. I'm stumped.
6.5 hours later.
So chapter 2 is now at 90,000 words. I feel like I've done everything in my power to procrastinate. I've put more laundry away. I've done the dishes, straightened up the kitchen. I put Christmas gifts into different packaging boxes. So yeah, at this point it is now 11:15. I think we're going to put this aside for now and we're just going to go out for the day. We're going to go over to the cop shop, over to the library, and then over to West Point because we have some stuff to pick up. And hopefully that means I can come back a little bit more refreshed and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can at least get chapter 2 done today. I stopped at QBD Books and picked up a copy of Birthday Girl from Penelope Douglas. I've read this on Kindle. I don't know how she does it. Like, I want to know what her secrets are. How does she write this way? How does she market this way? Because this book is not only phenomenal, like if you guys like trashy romance, this book is phenomenal, but her marketing, like she has to be a full-time author with how much money she brings in from her books. And her books are so good. It's insane. So I have lunch, I have snacks, I have drinks. I've grabbed a shower in case you can't tell with the wet hair, and at this point I need to stop procrastinating. I need to get the second chapter done today. And so far I only have 148 words, 3 of which are chapter 2, James, so we have his point of view. Yeah, so I'm gonna put on some copyright music that I can't play here, and I will check back, hopefully with some more progress.